Hi, I'm Coach Carl.
And I'm Coach Fisher.
And we're going to show you some basic skills for beginner volleyball players. The 5 skills we're going to cover are serving, ball handling, hitting, defense, and serve receive.
Next thing we're going to go ahead and focus on is our ball handling and how we hold our hands and how we're going to hold our arms while we do our ball handling. So the first thing we're going to focus on is our ball handling. So let's get a little closer so they can see your hands as we hold them, okay? So there's 2 ways that we're going to show you. The first one is we're going to go ahead and make that fist. And then we're going to go ahead and take our other hand and put it in there so we have our thumbs right next to each other, okay? So once again, make that fist. And then you're going to take your other hand and put it right there so your thumbs are right next to each other, okay? The next one that we're going to show you is the cupping one. So we're going to go ahead, take our hand, take our other hand and cup it, and then put our thumbs down, okay? Put our thumbs down. So 2 options. Fist, grab your fist, and the next one is the cup your hands together and put your thumbs. Now, notice we're going to have Tori do the one and then Carly do the other. Notice how their thumbs are directly going straight to the ground. Straight to the ground. That's for that reason, so you can see that platform action going straight to the net. Also, notice how these elbows are locked. Locked. We don't want them, unlock them real quick. What's going to happen if we have our elbows not locked, that ball is just going to rest there. If we have them locked, has a nice platform is what we call it, that pops the ball where we need to go. Next thing we're going to do is connect our hand and our hand placement with our feet placement. So the good thing that we want to do is get a balanced position. So we want to be about shoulders length. We're going to put our butt out, so we'll go ahead and make sure your posture's good. So notice how their posture is not what I call quasimodo, where it hunches. It's nice and straight to target. Once again, look at our thumb placements, look at our locked elbows, and a nice balanced position that if we need to move, we can move.
Briefly talk about setting, and that's going to be what we call an overhead pass, okay? The first thing you want to do is find a panel on the volleyball. There's going to be 3 panels, and that's what we call our hands and C's. Our hands are going to make the shape of a C, and that is perfectly going to fit around one of those panels, okay? Paige, please do so, okay? We're going to do this series first, and it's going to be on the ground, so Paige is going to have a seat, and we're going to call this hands and C's. And our next key word is going to be quick draw. And Paige is going to quickly bring those hands above her head. Now notice when we're in this position, I want you to look at that ball. It is right above our forehead and our eyes are going to be up, so we're watching that ball. Then we're going to go hands and C's, quick draw. Hands and C's, quick draw. And we want to work on that so the kids can get used to coming up quickly and getting those hands set and those wrists back, ready to take that ball. Our next progression then is hands and C's, quick draw, and release. Okay? We'll do it again. Hands and C's, quick draw, and release. So they can work on pushing that ball.
With the high school girls, very basic ball handling skills. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to be about 10 feet away from each other. We're going to use our platform. That's what we talked about earlier, our platform. And we're just going to step. And so Tori's going to go ahead and toss the ball to Paige.
Mine.
And notice how she's going to take 2 steps forward, 2 targets. So we're going to try that again. We're going to go ahead and use our platform, 2 steps, 2 targets. The whole reason behind that is we want to make sure our body finishes right 2 targets. Finish, and then she takes a step back. Platform, 2 steps forward. So you guys would do that for 30 seconds. Once 30 seconds is up, we would go ahead and switch. And we would do it again. Let's just give Tori one good one and we'll move on.
Fine.
Okay, awesome. Now what's the second one we're going to do is Paige is going to take about 4 steps back. And we're going to have a little bit deeper pass to target. Okay, once again, we need to do the same exact thing that we did with the short one. Nothing changes. Okay, you are going to have to use your legs a little bit more. We don't want to swing our arms. For instance, this is what we do not want to see. You swing your arms to try to get the ball in. Okay? That's a no-no. We want to keep our platform strong and go straight to target, okay? Using our legs.
Quiet arms.
Wide arms.
Quiet arms.
Quiet arms, yes, quiet arms. Notice, nice and quiet. Her body's finishing to target. Notice she's also talking. We love volleyball players talking. You might want to start going. I like it. Quiet arms, finishing 2 steps to target, 1 step back. 30 seconds would be up. We would move on to the next one. So let's go ahead and go back to 10 feet. And now we're going to work on hands. Hands and C's, quick draw, release. We're going to put all 3 of those into action. Okay? Go ahead. Paige is also going to still take those 2 steps to target. Hands and C's. Her hands aren't quite in C's right now. We want to get a little bit more ready. There we go. Back, 2 steps back. Finish to target. There we go. Awesome. And then once that 30 seconds up, Tori will go, etc., etc. Now we're going to go ahead and take our 5 steps back and go into the deeper. Once again, we're going to have to use our legs. 2 steps in. Let's get a little less, a little bit more game speed there, not so going through the motions. There we go. Never go, just go through the motion. Game speed all the time. Awesome. Okay. So far we've done 4 sets. Short platform, long platform. That's this right here. We've done 2 sets of hands. That's our setting. Short and long. Last 2, we're going to do platform, small horseshoe. We all know what a horseshoe looks like. It's like an arch. Okay? So let's go ahead and get 10 feet again. And what's going to happen is she's going to go in a horseshoe fashion. So she's going to start. Go ahead. Notice how she's not crossing her feet. Side step. Push to target. Make sure you still take your 2 steps to target. Awesome. Make sure we have quiet arms. Don't swing. Make sure your body finishes to targets. Then you would go for 30 seconds once again, and then you would switch. So we're going to go ahead and switch and put Paige straight into large horseshoe. So obviously, the larger one, we're just going to take a step back, and it's going to be a bigger horseshoe this time. But once again, we're going to have to focus on using our legs, quiet arms. Do not swing those arms crazily. That's a word, right? Good. Make sure you're talking. Make sure you're talking. Nice hand speed. 2 steps to target. Horseshoe. 2 steps to target. Finish off. So those are our 6 sets. Okay? Short platform, long platform, short hands, long hands, small horseshoe, large horseshoe. The next thing we're going to do is put the ball handling all together, kind of in a game situation. At the age that you guys are at right now, we really want to focus on 3 contacts. I know it's going to be crazy at first, but when you start them young, it will be great. So we want to teach those 3 contacts on each side of the net. So as soon as they get older, it just is second nature to make it happen, okay? So what we like to do with the younger kids when we go to our campus is a drill called speedball, okay? At first, it's really going to just be a throw and catch game, okay? So Tori's going to go ahead and throw the ball over to the opposite side. All Carly's going to do is catch the ball, okay? So Carly's going to catch the ball, and what's going to happen is instead of throwing it back over, that's what we used to like, just 1 contact to go, she's going to throw it to Paige. Notice what Paige did. She went exactly to the net. That's where the target usually wants to be. She's going to make her catch. There's our 3rd contact, okay, 3rd contact, and now she's going to throw it over. Now, go ahead and hold that for me, Tori. And as soon as they get used to that 3 contacts with just a plain old catch, we're going to go ahead and progress to the next piece, which is going to be Tori's going to throw it over, and we're going to start with platform, and then a catch. So once again, platform Carly, catch Paige, over with another catch. Let's try that one more time. So once again, we're going to do a platform, catch, throw. Once again. again, what are we trying to teach, ladies? 3 contacts. We're trying to teach 3 contacts. So Tori, go ahead and throw. Platform, catch, catch, throw. Platform, catch, catch, throw. Platform, catch, catch, throw. Go ahead and hold that for me, drops. Good. Once again, we're emphasizing those 3 contacts. At first, 2 weeks in, that's as far as maybe you'll get. But as the season keeps on going, go ahead and add stuff, okay? So now let's go ahead and throw A's and C's in there with our hands and sets. So we're going to do a platform, hands, catch, throw. Catch. Throw. Platform, hands, catch, throw. Platform, hands, catch, throw. Go ahead and catch it for me. So once again, there's tons of different things you can do with this. You can platform, catch, catch. Platform, platform, catch. Hands, hands, catch. There's infamous things that you can do to switch this drill up and not just do this thing over and over and over.
Okay, so we're going to start with the basic footwork for the hitting approach. We use a 3-step footwork. It's going to be, for our right-handed hitters, it's going to be a left, right, left, and we're going to go slow here. We're going to go a big step with our left, and I want you to freeze. Notice what their arms do in this position. They're going to go back. With the young kids, we like to call this having a cape, okay? Then we're going to do a hop step into our last 2 steps. Here we go. And right, left. When we jump, we want to make sure we're going off of 2 feet, okay? Let's bring it back, ladies, and show it in full motion. Okay, go ahead and use the arms. We're going to add the arms in here as well. At the first stage, as a progression, we're going to go and just jump straight up in the air. So we work on our takeoff point being the same as where we end up landing, so we don't end up running into the net, which a lot of times our young girls do, okay? So we're going to approach, jump, straight up in the air. And go. Good. Now we're going to add in the arm swing, so come on back. And we are going to add in a full arm swing through the ball. And go. Okay, so going on with our footwork, we're going to add in something we like to do to have a little bit of fun and to really work on them covering ground. And we have a young lady lay in front of them, so that way after we take our big step and we jump with our right and left, then we can gather after we get over the body. So we're going to demonstrate here. Just put my thumb right there. Okay, go. Big hop into that right-left step. We're going to talk about the swinging portion of the actual hit. So what we're going to do here is have a partner across from the net. We're going to just start at the 10-foot line. Okay, I'm a right-handed hitter, so I'm going to stand with my left foot forward and my weight kind of on my back foot, which is my right foot. I want to toss just right in front of me, right outside of my reach. So that way when I come through, this ball is in front of me and I can get on top of it and snap through, okay? When I go to swing, I want to use my hitting arm and reach behind my head, almost like you're grabbing your shirt, okay? We call this the chicken wing. We don't want a chicken wing. We want that elbow high and next to the head, okay? So as I toss up, I'm going to swing on top of that ball. I'm going to finish through to my target, which is right in front of me, and I'm going to finish with a wrist snap. And that's going to cause that ball to go down underneath the net. These girls are going to demonstrate a few times here for you. Notice how when they start, we have a nice open position. We call that hips open. And as we come through with our swing, we're closing those hips and our hips finish to target as well. So that momentum, that change in weight transfer is going to help us get speed and power on that ball. So the next thing we're going to do is progress to actually them trying to put it all together. So we're going to use the footwork as well as starting to get our hands involved. The first progression is going to be just from a coach's toss. They're going to do an approach and catch the ball as high as they can. This is really going to help work on timing of the ball as well, because they want to catch that ball at the high point in the air. Good. Our next progression then is they're going to do the same approach. They're going to come up and they're going to headbutt that ball. And this is going to help so they keep that ball in front of them. And that's going to avoid this where you see where they make contact behind the head. Okay? Oh, and then I pitched it right on them. That's not fault. Let's do it again. Oh. I was sliding down. Good. 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 All right, so then our next progression is going to be putting it all together. So the footwork, the arm swing. The younger they are, I would tend to get them further off the net so they have more of an opportunity to get that ball in play. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with serving now. And one of the things we like to start with is we call it trapping against the wall. This is going to help us work on two different things. One is a good toss, and two is going to be that transfer of weight from the back foot to the front foot, okay? So what these ladies are going to do, we have both right-handed hitters here, so we're going to put the left foot forward, right foot back, and our weight is going to be on our back. So we're going to toss with our opposite hand. So that's going to be a left-handed toss. Again, the toss has to be good, so it's not bouncing off the wall. And then again, kind of we talked about hitting, nice high elbow and through on top. That's where we are going to trap the ball against the wall. Ladies, demonstrate a few here. Good. Good. We want to look for this high. I want you to freeze up top. We want to look for that high placement because we want to keep that up. It's also good here because it keeps that ball in front of us. Again, avoiding making contact with the ball here. So the number one important thing is a good toss out in front of us and a high contact against the wall. Go ahead and do it a few more times. Good. You can notice how their kind of body changes a little bit with the weight transfer from the back foot to the front foot as they go through that movement. Okay. Okay, so after we progress from the wall, we're going to take it to the court. We're going to have partners standing 10-foot line away from the net, so they're about 20 feet apart, and we are going to work on actually getting that to our partners. So our toss should be there, and we should be able to make some good contact here. One of the things we want to mention is having a strong wrist. A lot of times our young ladies kind of have that floppy wrist, and we want to make sure we have a strong wrist. So as we're making contact, we're hitting solid, and we're following through palm right to target. Okay? These girls are just going to demonstrate here. Good. Notice how that palm stops right to target, right at target. So we don't have another ball. Good. This This takes a little bit of practice too. The better they are at ball control, the easier this will run. So when it first starts, it may be a little tricky. Okay, we're going to do 10 just like that. Then we're going to switch to, and have the girls have a little bit of fun with this, is they are going to stand on one foot and try to make that solid contact. And what this is going to do is make sure the toss is right, because if it's not, we're probably going to trip and fall a little bit, or we're just going to miss-hit the ball. So we're going to balance on one foot. It's going to be the left foot for a right-handed server, and balance on the right foot for a left-handed server. Let's demonstrate here. This is also going to make sure they keep that core tight. And the stronger their cores are, we know they're still young, but the stronger the core is, the stronger the body is. So balancing on that one foot, they're really going to have to keep that core strong. Good. Now again, like everything else, this is a progression drill. So after they do another set of 10 here, we're going to back up about 20-foot line. So we're going to be about 40 feet away from each other. So now they're going to have to work on that arm swing, being a little bit faster and a little bit stronger to get it to their partner. Go ahead. And when they're first learning to overhand serve, we may not get there in the first couple of weeks. Again, this is a progression, so depending on your skill level of your kid, is how far you can pull it back. We use this as a warm-up, even at the high school level, where we finish behind the 30-foot line, which is the baseline of the volleyball court. A couple more good ones. Okay. All right, good deal. Okay, so for you 3rd and 4th grade coaches, we're going to say, yes, it is okay to underhand serve. The girls are probably going to be more comfortable, and you're going to be more successful at that age group. So we're going to briefly talk about the underhand serve. Okay, we have a right-handed server, so we're going to hold the ball in our left hand. Our right hand is going to be where we make contact. And again, I want you to do a fist and put that thumb on the side of the fist. So we have a nice flat surface, and that's where we're going to make contact with that ball. We're going to use our arm like a pendulum. We're going to swing it back and then right through that ball. It's a lot easier hitting a motionless target than it is a target that's moving. So we want to make sure that we hold that ball and swing that arm through like a pendulum. Coach here is going to demonstrate. And again, just like every other serve, we're going to finish to target. Watch where coach's fist ends. Right through to target.
Now what we don't want to see is that toss in the air. Like we said, it's a lot harder. So what you're going to see girls do at first is wanting to throw the ball up in the air and then try to swing the ball. Their hand-eye coordination is not going to be quite there. So like what Coach said earlier, a motionless ball is a lot easier to contact. Compared to what they want to do is throw the ball up in the air. The next thing that we are going to focus on are zones on the volleyball court. On the volleyball court, there are 6 zones. Currently, what Carly is in right now is zone 1, okay? Zone 1. When she takes a step up to the net, so she's at the net on the right side, that is zone 2. Now she's going to go into the middle on the net, zone 3. And then she's going to take a step left side of the net, zone 4. Back to the back of the court, back left is zone 5, and in the middle back is zone 6. So I know it's kind of weird that zone 1 starts in the back left, but that's how this works, okay? So zone 1, zone 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what we're actually going to show you is a game called Around the World, working on getting the ball to the zones. Okay? So, Carly is going to go ahead and sit in zone 1. Okay? So Carly is currently in zone 1, sitting there. What's going to happen over here is that we have 4 of our players over here going to start serving. What this is going to help out is getting their shoulders, as you watch all these girls, you will see their shoulders directly towards Carly in zone 1. It's crucial that those shoulders are squared up. They're going to have strong wrists, like we worked on, and strong palm to target. They're not going to swing through. Go ahead, Emily. Look at there, first try, right to target, shoulders, right to target. Now Emily is going to go to station 2, so zone 2 of the net, which is at the 10-foot line from the net. All stars. Okay, now Paige is going to go into zone 3 now, and Tori's going to make it 3 in a row. I believe there, don't you? Okay, look at that. Oh. So, zone 3, now Emily's going to go. Tori's, of course, going to go shag that ball, because we don't like loose balls on the court. Go ahead. Now, I'll tell you right now, zone 2, 3, and 4 are very difficult for kids at these ages. Just have patience and sure, just keep trying, okay? So what we're going to do is just keep on going through until we get through all 6 stations. Obviously, just for time constraints, we're going to go ahead and stop here. But as soon as someone catches it in zone 3, they will move on to zone 4, 5, 6, etc.
Okay, now we're going to work on serve receive. So this is going to be a progression drill. This can be coach-led, or it can also be athlete-led as well. We're going to use a bowl, and that's just a one-handed toss over the net. It's very serve-light, but only we don't have to worry about getting it in every time at this age level, okay? This is, again, is a progression drill. Our first progression is our serve receive. Young lady over there is going to catch the ball. And so what she wants to work on is getting her body behind that ball and catching with her arms out straight. So that's going to be kind of like how we would have our platform, okay?
Notice where her shoulders are pointing to every single time. She sees her target, which is Paige right there, and that's where her shoulders are going directly to every single time. Make sure you still practice those live elbows even though that we're catching it.
Okay, great job. Our next progression then is to have this ball actually bounce in between Carly's legs. Again, this is to help that we get our body behind the ball instead of taking passes outside our center of mass. Down low here, and she's going to make a hoop with her arms, and the goal is to get that ball through the hoop and through her legs, just solidifying the fact that her body is behind that ball. Okay, so after you do a set of 5 to 10, depending on how much time you want to practice it, we're going to go to the final stage where we're putting it all together, and we're going to bowl to our serve receive lady, and she's going to make passes to target. There you go, Paige. Good. Notice that she's calling the ball every time. Our target has her hand up in the air, making a nice big target for that pass to go. Good.
And now think of our other things that we just did. We worked on getting our feet to go between our legs, and we also worked on getting the ball through the hoop, which is over time going to turn into our platform. So the whole point of that progression is to get us to get our feet there and also get our platform there at the end once we get into a real situation.
Let's do a couple more.
So if she left her platform, that ball was not directly between her legs. The next thing that we're going to focus on is, once again, serve and receive. So the earlier drill on the serving alleys and the hoop was just one person. Now we're going to go ahead and throw 3 people into the situation. We have 3 people. Notice how they're almost in a straight line. Okay? They will be almost in a straight line. That's what we want to go ahead and see. So go ahead and put them in a straight line. And we're going to go ahead and start off the ball once again from Coach Carl over there. And what's going to happen is whoever's going to pass to target, which once again is Carly at the net, that person's going to fill that target, okay? So go ahead. So notice she went straight to target. So we have Emily here is going to fill the target since she was the one that passed the ball. Carly's going to go in the back of the line that's going to fill. And Emily too came in here and filled in that spot that Emily just left. Once again, notice how Paige's shoulders were straight to target. Paige fills the target. Emily leaves. The ball comes in. Tori fills the target. Emily comes in. It's just going to be a continuous pattern. Okay? Make sure we can hear you throughout the whole gym. We want to hear you say mine. That communication piece is huge. Ironic that that just happened. Again, there we go. Fill target. Now, we can take this a step further also. We could also use hands and C's as an option to go further with this particular drill. So we're going to go ahead and do hands and C's, fill target. Just another idea that you can just go off of this drill. So once again, this is off of the serve-receive drill. Serve-receive drills are crucial in the game of volleyball. That's what starts the game of volleyball. Serve-receive is huge. You'll learn that coaches at the varsity level, this is our hugest pet peeve. Serve-receive, serve-receive,